Hello, beautiful souls. I am Awakened Soul, and today we're going to be reviewing Bitcoin, seeing where it's headed next after today's CPI reading, and we're going to be setting it up for our next trade more than anything. So I hope you find value in me teaching you today how to set up your charts for your next trade. First thing is starting off on your monthly time frame, turn on 1226 EMAs. And just make that nice observation of what's happening with the trend. Price action above 1226 EMAs are a bullish trend. Price action under 1226 EMAs is a bearish trend, right? So even though price action is a little bit above the 1226 EMA, we have to consider that they're rotated to a bearish trend because the 26 is above the 12. So something to consider. So once you make that observation, go ahead and make sure you're using index. Well, I like to use the index. It has a lot of great history, and make sure you're under the log scale down here. Turn on your magnet, and then you go 1 touch, 2 touches. And my monthly trend lines are red. I do color coordinate everything because by the time I'm done, I always have a techno party. So this is a beautiful support, as you can see, and just visualize. What do you see? We see a breakdown to the downside and a retest. So we could definitely be in a critical place right now. So this is my support. 1 touch, 2 touches. This is my resistance, and I think it's important to know why I chose this wick. So I use the higher high, lower low indicator. Wonderful indicator to use. Let me turn it on here. And this is going to guide you and help you where to put your trend lines. And the reason I didn't choose this lower high is because it's not giving me any information when price action is all the way to the right. So concentrate on price action, what's happening right now. So this is my monthly support and resistance, and I'll give you monthly targets. This would be my bearish target here at 12K, and this is my bullish target, 39K. Okay, and this would 39 would happen if the monthly trend line would break to the upside, and 12K seems to be a bigger possibility because we broke this monthly trend line. We're retesting, and then I could see price action falling back down. Big possibility here. Okay, let me go ahead and highlight my monthly targets, because if I don't start organizing it from this point, by the time, what's going on here? There we go. Okay, that's monthly. Let's go to my day. My day, same process. Just look at it. What do you see? Let's set some trend lines, right? 1226 are bullish. Definitely something to consider. And we could definitely see a retracement, just like we see this pump. Let me see if I could. Right, just like we had this little break up, then retrace, break up, retrace, right? And if you pull a fib from the bottom to the top, you can see that the retracement came down to a golden pocket target. So same scenario could happen here if you pull the fib from this low. Oh my god, there we go. To this high, we could definitely see a retracement to the golden pocket and continue to the upside, right? That's a big possibility. So I'm just gonna turn on my higher high, lower low, and just to guide me again. This just guides me and helps me set my trend lines, right? And I'm in my weekly. My weekly is orange. So this is gonna be my support. I'm not gonna place a resistance trend line just because we have this monthly, and the monthly is stronger than the weekly, right? And just based on the fact that price action is here, there's no need for it. Okay, let's move on to my daily. So within the daily, it's important to understand market structure, and if you don't understand market structure, you know, there's key concepts to understand when you're trading, and I can't say it's simple. It's not simple, but I just feel like there's so much information out there, and do have a course. I'm not the best salesperson, but it's linked in my Twitter. And please follow me at Awakened Soul 369. And I do share my setups, I do share my expectations, and I'm just doing the most on Twitter. So go ahead and follow me at Awakened Soul _369. Educator, I like to teach technical analysis, and I do have my Discord. It comes with my course, of course. But now that we're here on our daily, let's focus on contraction phases, right? So it's just important for you to understand that contraction phase, trend, contraction phase, trend, contraction phase. So this is our contraction phase, and this is right here, right? The top one, and that's the only thing that you should be worried about, especially if you're trying to see where the next move or where it's headed, right? So within the daily, I'm going to set my nice range. This would be my high. And in the daily is yellow. I do use the chakra colors, right? So this is my beautiful range. So from this range, I have my high, my low, and any possible trend lines that you could possibly draw here. Let's see. So we could go from high here to this low. It's kind of same process as the monthly, right? And for the low, for the support, we could go from this low to this previous higher low. Okay, not seeing much because we already know this is our range, right? So if we break this major support of 26,527, we could see, like I mentioned earlier, that beautiful retrace to the golden pocket, and that could be a big possibility where we will reassess the market, because if price action does not hold the 23K, we could definitely fall down. Okay, beautiful. So let's move into our 4 hours, right? And when you're getting closer and closer to your price action, it's important to leave what happened behind and just focus on what's happening now. So when you're in your 4 hours, again, just like we did in the daily, find your contraction phase. So just kind of zoom out, right? Just look at your chart and understand contraction phases are consolidation phases, sideways boring sections. So just go ahead and highlight them, just so when you, okay, then we have trend down, this one up, so this could have been some sort of a contraction phase. Then we come down, and now we're in this contraction phase. Okay, so just, this is what we're going to be working with in our 4 hours. And I like to box it in, because we could get lost within the price action, within the wicks. So just remember, this is your zone, and this is all you should be worried about. So I'm gonna mark my high here. Let me turn on my magnet. In my 4 hours, I need the little foot. There we go. Right, that's my 4 hour high. This is my 4 hour low. Okay, and so I have my range. Let me turn on my higher high, lower low indicator. Sorry, my 12 EMAs. So it's important to consider the trend. Trend is down, right? Price action's under 12 and 26 EMAs. I'm going to turn on my higher high, lower low. So within this contraction phase, what do I see? What do you see? Right? Every contraction phase gives you a pattern. So it's important to understand market Forex patterns, and they're going to be formed within each contraction phase. Like this was like a head and shoulders here, right? Then it broke down. So this, what I see going on, is a Wyckoff within this, because we had a major ripsaw due to the CPI reading. So when you see like a crazy wick up and down, Those are called ripsaws, and they could just help you and guide you within the market. So I'm in my 2 hours here, pivot highs and lows. Let me turn them on. I'm going to connect some trend lines. 1 touch, 2 touches, right? And now we're at the blue stage. So if price action would to break this resistance, this trend line to the upside, I do see price action returning to 28.9. 28.9 would be my target. Okay, let me highlight it. And as you can see, we're getting closer and closer, and it's not that bad. This is major support, so I don't see an additional support, so we're gonna let it be. Move in to my 1 hour. What do I see? Let's look at our 1226 EMAs. And of course, it is a supply and demand game, so I do have my supply and demand indicator here. Usually I use it in higher time frames, so I just want to know where your supply, a lot of supply, a lot of demand here, so kind of balanced out. We're all within a range. We've been in a range since March 17. Okay, so we could continue in this range for all we know. Okay, so back to, now we're in the 30 minutes here, and I'm trying, like I said, Argo as technical analyst is setting up our charts for the next trade, right? So we know this is major, this is our weekly major support because it's orange. Let me just highlight it here. I'm going to turn on higher high, lower low. Okay, and our focus, price action. So what do you see? So I see this coiling up really nice here. You see that? We're getting a purple stage now. Okay, coiling up. So this is definitely, and I have this great indicator that I love. The RSVVB. And it just shows you when it's like getting really tight. Like you see this areas right here, it's getting really tight, and then when it kind of explodes. So if you go to your smaller time frames, like there you go, 5 minutes shows that really nice. You could see how it gets really tight and boom, pops. So it's getting really tight, so I do expect a decision to be made. And that's the thing, you're not gonna, no one's gonna predict the markets. You are going to just do what the markets tell you. That's how I play the game. No emotions, no expectations. So when I'm here in my 15 minutes, I was in my 30 minutes, I just wanted to show you this nice coiling up. So there's 2 ways to play this, right? You could get the measured move from this ripsaw. When it pops up, ooh, check that out. I'm just saying, look at that target that I marked. I didn't highlight it, but earlier this, I believe this is why I color coordinate everything. I believe that's a 1 hour target, the blue. Okay, what a confluence right there. So that could definitely hit, or we could break structure to the bottom and go to 23k. Because if we get this measure and move to the downside, it's gonna copy, clone it. Oops, I still messed up. Hold on. No. Just want to grab it and move it. There we go. So those would be your 15-minute targets. Right, and this is purple, so we know this is all 15 minutes here. Okay, let's highlight. So we got 2 confluence targets at 28.9 and this low here. Okay, so let's set a range, right? When you're gonna take a trade here, you want to set a range. So my confirmations to take a trade, I want to see the 1226 EMAs cross, meaning if it's a downtrend, I want to make sure that 26 is above the 12. And if we're going to go bullish, I want the 12 to rotate up and the 26 to be on the bottom. I want to set a range, and I want to make sure that range breaks. So my range in the 15 minutes is getting really tight here. So I would take the previous lower high and this, right? Getting tight, getting really tight. Right, that could be your range right here. And let it play out, okay? There's no, it's not ready to take a trade. It's not ready. So what you're gonna do, this is what's gonna happen. Either it's gonna go up or is it gonna go down. A lot of the times though, whenever you have patterns like that, there are fake outs. So what you want to see, okay, you want to see follow through, market structure, understand market structure. If we move to the downside, let it retrace and then continue to the downside, right? Because we could have a down movement, fake out, and then just pop right back up. And same process with taking a long, right? If you're gonna long from here, wait for it to break, retrace, and continue, right? And you would enter at lower highs. Why? Because a lot of the times when you have a triangle like this and it's coiling up, it's gonna fake down and boom, right? And a lot of people are gonna short because they thought, oh my god, you know, it broke our wedge here, so it's gonna go lower. Don't forget to check your RSI. I do check my RSI in the end just to make sure to see if I have any divergence or anything. So just be patient, make sure you set stop loss, but that's how I would play this game. That's your setup for the next 15 minutes. I think, you know, it's not what I think, but if we break those lows and break my trend line, we could definitely see 26. And if we break our resistance trend line, we'll definitely see 28. Simple. All right, 50-50 chance. So learn how to play the game. Join me in my journey in my beautiful community. I am awakensoul_369. I love you, and remember to do everything with love.